The inspiration for writing the recipes book is from years and years of teaching vocal improvisation and trying to answer the question, how do I improvise? Well, for a long time I thought linear because that's how I grew up. Here's scatting, here's the syllables and the consonants and the vowels, and I developed a language and the accents and this and that. But that was still linear. It was one line of this thing, one aspect. And the reason why I came up with the word recipe is because it became a layer cake. You know, I said, well, you start with this layer and that layer, and I said, oh, it's kind of like a recipe, you know, it's like a recipe. And vocalists, I found through the years, were so in tune with the melody, they weren't listening to anything else. And that was the mistake. I said, if you want to improvise on this, you need to pay more attention to the rhythm and the chords, the scales, the arpeggios, the colors, like what we call extensions, colors, the inside of the chord, the bottom, the roots, the bass line. Your melody is great and it's wonderful. You got to know what is going on underneath me. You got to know what these guys are doing. They are supporting you in different ways. So I started to compartmentalize like this and say, okay, well, if you really want to improvise, leave the melody out. You know, don't sing the melody. Listen to everything else. So we've got this going through, let's say, Summertime, which everybody knows. Summertime, da-da-da-da-da-da, but not the melody. But do-do-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee would be the bass line. The roots, do-dee-do-do. So you're starting to build this thing together. Chord tones, the color tones. Do-do-do-do. All right, so you got all these components that come together and they give you the scaffold for the melody, but we leave the melody out. So they're learning about everything that's underneath this thing. Now, the way I organized this, I wanted everyone to have the ability to single out tracks to practice. So you download this virtual recording studio and you get a score of notes and tracks that you can completely control. And I describe, here's what to do, here's how you practice track 1. Do this. This is what's happening in there. So you practice track 1 until you really get it, either by reading or just by ear and hearing it over and over again. And you can focus on any one of those parts as long as it takes for you to get that. And then you say, now I understand. That's the bottom of every chord. That's really cool. That's one of the focus points of which to improvise. And the objective is, how do I improvise? What should I listen to? There are a lot of things to listen for. You know, not the melody. That's the last thing you want to listen to. And what I like about it is you can jump in at whatever level you're at. If you know absolutely nothing, you've got a great place to start. And the book tells you, okay, start at this line. Listen to this. This is the bottom. And for people who are more advanced, whatever the level is, they can jump in. So they're not forced to, you know, wait for somebody else to catch up in a classroom situation. They can jump in wherever level they're at and move accordingly. So if somebody who's advanced, who already knows the roots and the guide tones and the colors and stuff, they want to get into the meat and potatoes, which is, how do I solo over this? I mean, what do I do? What syllables do I use? What notes? What rhythms? So in each solo line, I describe in detail how I'm thinking about this motif, and it's pretty advanced because it gets from the bottom to the middle to the extensions to an actual solo line of my own choosing. The one thing that singers may miss is the melody. It's the only thing that's not there. And that's the purpose of this book, is to get away from the melody, because that's the easy part. Anybody, can sing the melody. It's what's going on underneath that melody that will give you the ability to improvise over this melody. It's complicated, but the way I describe it, it simplifies it. And it's like, oh yeah, well that makes sense.